Cuco's wish for everyone, well, for his students that he had in his class was just to continue on with their education. He, he never really got the opportunity to finish his own education. He was very involved in his mariachi and played everywhere, and he loved playing, but I think the education for us to continue into college was super important for him. Just as it was important for us, he always stressed the importance of, even in like when I had boyfriends, he would be like, no, you need to not do that because you need to worry about your education first. I think he even told me once that to never get married because it's not gonna do me any good. But he was just joking. But he did really want us to continue with our education in college, wherever we wanted to go. He thought education was just super important. Knowledge is power, and he really believed in that, and so it made me believe in that too.
So I strongly believe that Cuco always had a mindset of, I'm going to use mariachi to get to my students and to get in a way, not to make them into musicians, but to make them something greater in life, which is that extra step that he always tried all his students to get to that higher education, making college a priority, not just something that you may not get to, but something that it's reachable and that can easily be taken. It's out there. You just need to fight for it. And I believe Cuco, that was the strongest thing he always sent out to his students.
So this one time, my senior year in 2010, I had a solo that I was going to perform at Noche de las Estrellas. And I remember practicing it, I got really frustrated and I ran to the bathroom. And he followed me there and he's like, if we're not going to play this right, I'm going to give it to someone else. And I was like, fine, give it to him, give it to her, because I'm not going to play it because you don't like how I play it. And so I heard him go back and I heard him starting to play and I was like, oh no, he better not give that to someone else. So I went and I stormed out and I played it perfectly, and after the song was over he was like, see, I told you can do it. And so I think him getting upset with me and pushing me, him being a teacher really helped me want to become a teacher, because how he influenced me and how I see him influencing so many other kids, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to do that. And so he was, him pushing me into thinking that I can do it also helped me realize the things that I can do with hard work. And so throughout college, I did go and visit him from time to time because he was super inspirational to me. Even after college, I thought of him all the time. I talked to him all the time. And what's funny is his nickname for me was La Maestra, and I ended up becoming an elementary school teacher. So he kind of called it. But even my graduation, throughout college, my college graduation, he was there at my party. I had no idea that my parents had hired Herencia to come perform for my graduation party from the U of A 4 years later. And he showed up and he totally out of the blue surprised me. I started crying. Like, I didn't think, I wasn't just some student that he had in his class. Every student that walks in and walks out after 4 years is very important to him, and you can feel that. And you can tell for sure education was super important, because my mom told me this about a year ago, that he had a tocada, a performance, that same night of my graduation party. And when my mom called him to book him for my party, he's like, okay, well, we'll cancel that performance, or we'll push it back. I'll be there to perform for her. And that just made me feel so special and loved by him. And that's how strong his love is for his students, not just for mariachi, but for his students, because he wants us to get there and be successful in college and in our lives too. He mariachi he taught us more than just mariachi music and how to perform. He taught us how to stand up for ourselves and make decisions for ourselves so that it impacts us for the better. And I'm always going to carry that with me even now. I have a picture of him in my classroom to this day with the little like a Virgin Mary next to him to remind me of that.
I mean, what can I say? Cuco was my grandpa, I want to say. Like, since the first day I got into mariachi, he treated us as family. Like, the reason I believe he gives every single student he ever has a nickname is because he sees them as his grandkids or his kids, basically. I really don't think he sees them as students. My nickname was Arnesio, and the only reason is because I was always there with him 100% of the time. Like, if I could go eat lunch with him every day, I was just there. I 100% believe that Cuco influenced my life, not just my education. The biggest thing that I can remember, and I still carry on with me, is to be fearless. I mean, life is about taking risks, and I think that's something that I learned from him. The first time that I ever joined Diablitos was really just to actually try to get a credit, and because my grandpa told me, hey, what if you try to play an instrument? I never thought I would get a second family from that. So I believe Cuco knew I had that fearless inside of me. He just gave me that opportunity to come out. I mean, he made me sing. He made me actually try out for Rey Reina de las Estrellas, and those are things that I would have never thought of doing, or standing in front of a crowd and actually winning from just knowing that he had that trust in me. He had that faith that I could do whatever I put myself to. I mean, college was always on his mind. Like, hey, show me when you get your acceptance letter. Show me when you go here. Show me when you go. And it just stays in my head that last performance I had at AWA, our last performance as Noche de las Estrellas, he literally told me, you left your legacy here, now go and finish your college degree. Like, he literally said that to me, and that just filled me up with joy. Like I wanted to keep going with mariachi, but at the same time, it was like, he was telling me, like, hey, like, you had your fun now let's go do something else. Let's go and get you a degree. Let's become somebody in life where you can make a difference. So Cuco's always in my heart and in my mind.
So I was a first-generation student in my family. My parents never got the opportunity to go to college, and so for me it was very important, and for my family it was very important for me to go to college. And so since education was very important to Cuco, he was able to allocate funds for us, for students that needed it, for classes, for books, application fees, and grades were very important to him too. We could not perform if we had anything lower than a B. And so this is something that Cuco would have really wanted, to continue the scholarship so that students can continue to continue their education after high school. It does not have to stop there. It definitely doesn't have to stop there. And so let's keep this going. I think Cuco would really love that.
I strongly believe there's no other better way to remember this man that left so many great memories, that impacted so many lives, than to carry on his legacy. And this is the way that we're going to do it, by keeping people in college, keeping people in higher education. And this small help, it might not be a lot, it might not be paying for your whole college, but it's a start. And that's what he wanted for everybody. He wanted that start that would impact in the long run. It's gonna change that young boy, young girl's perspective about college, because they're going to feel that they have that help. Like I said, once again, it doesn't matter the amount. It just matters that they know they have people behind them, carrying them 100% of the way in college. Like I said, the Cuco's at Seed scholarship may just be a start, but at the same time, it's going to be the best start they can get.